Good afternoon, fans. This is your girl from Mel's Mat Chat, and this is episode 351 of the podcast. How is everyone doing today? I'm sorry that I'm like an hour late. It's just I've had stuff going on in my personal life, and I had to go take care of it. It was got to do with my kid, and it is what it is. But um, I'm here, and it's just going to be an hour later. So I'm hoping that I can get you in and out of here today. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., I'm going live with the preview and predictions of SummerSlam. And if everything goes right, I might go live right after to do the review. So fingers crossed. Hopefully it's not too late. But lots of going on. We've got suspensions with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. We've got Shane McMahon possibly joining AEW. And we've got SummerSlam this weekend. So that's the story of the hours here. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the whole thing with Britt Baker. I think she knows that the writing on the wall is she's no longer Tony Khan's favorite female. And I have a feeling that she is going to lose to Mercedes. And I have a feeling when her contract comes up, I have a feeling that she's going to be leaving. Speaking of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, there are rumors that Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, is no longer with Adam Cole, baby. And he is moving back to the Northeast, which is closer to me, and that's always so great. But that also tells a tale that if they are broken up, that means Adam Cole could legitimately come back to WWE. So that's another aspect. So that's interesting there. Speaking of AEW, Shane McMahon. I think if they are going to sign him, I think it's the biggest hypocrite that Tony Khan could ever do. He's said derogatory things about the McMahons, and I think, I think he needs to apologize to the McMahons because, it's not all, it's Vince. He needs to come out and say that I'm sorry that I said what I said about the McMahons, and that was directed towards Vince McMahon himself, and to make sure that it's not, all the McMahons, because Triple H is nothing to do with this. Stephanie has nothing to do with this. Shane has nothing to do with this. Alyssa has nothing to do with that. That's Shane's wife, and Linda. They have nothing to do with him being a pig. So I think TK needs to come out and make this right. So I think that should be appropriate and for him to save face. Warner Brothers Discovery is now it's no longer an exclusive talking. They are open to talk to anybody with that AEW wants to talk about. They could talk to any network now. Do we see that Warner Brothers, with how much they're in debt, I don't think they're going to pick them up. I would be very shocked if they would pick them up. And for the people saying, oh, but they're on Max internationally. So they're still in the midst of a deal. They're still dealing with them. So that could change really quickly. So do I think it? I don't. If they do, they're not going to get what they really want. They're going to have to take because right now that Warner Brothers Discovery is trying to hold on to the NPA. We got word yesterday. So SummerSlam is coming to Vancouver, British Columbia. They're going to be at the Rogers Arena on November 30th, which is my mother's birthday, and my son will be home. So let's keep that in mind. I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually cover it. I'm going to try my best because, my son will be home, and it'll be for the holiday, which is Thanksgiving. So That's neither here nor there. Michael Cole has uh, Michael Cole has re-signed with WWE earlier this year, so we don't have to worry about him. If you are a fan of 2K and you are a fan of Pat McAfee, him and his gang on the Pat McAfee show are now on 2K. So if you want to go and check that out, I think they're free this entire weekend. The standard game just for this weekend. And so if you want to go check it out and give a sample of it, go right ahead. Let's see what else is going on in the world of professional wrestling. Miko Satomura has announced her retirement from professional wrestling. She had a match over the weekend last weekend in Japan for the women's championship. So, do we see Miko Satomura be a ambassador for Japan? She will be going to like every like Stardom, and she'll go to Marigold. She'll go to all those women's promotions to pluck for the WWE, and I think that would be a great addition. And I think she would be a great trainer if they ever do NXT Japan. Um, let's see what else. When I was going to cover this on tomorrow's preview and prediction, but we made it news, and Jesse the Body Ventura, WWE Hall of Famer Jesse the Body Ventura, has signed a Legends contract, so he has come back home, and he was at Monday Night Raw in Minneapolis this past Monday. So it was really cool to see CM Punk and him meet for the first time, I think, ever. So, and CM Punk, what a fucking revelation. He has said to that, thankfully that Vince McMahon's not here, because then I wouldn't have come back. Jeez. Like, we already didn't know that, people, come on. So, that's basically about it. That's like all the topics that have been setting up all week. The Miz was announced as the host of SummerSlam because of being in Cleveland, and he's a fellow Clevelander. So that is good. People are complaining that, oh, I don't understand why I'm not on SummerSlam because I've been on. You're not in a prominent role. If you're not in a prominent role or storyline, you shouldn't be on it, and you shouldn't. And you have to earn it. You have to actually earn it. It's not given anymore. Because back in the day, like 5 years ago, you were given a spot. You weren't earned a spot, and I like that. I like the fact that now you have to earn the spots in on pay-per-views or PLEs, and it's not just it's going to be handed to you. I mean, depending on like this, I feel that there should have been a tag team title match. There should have been. And I think it should have been at least DIY on there because of Johnny Gargano. Hopefully that they'll make their appearance at some point during the PLE tomorrow night. And I believe tomorrow SummerSlam is starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that you set an alarm because it's not going to start at 8. Thank Christ. And I like that. I like that 7 p.m. because of the fact that you're not waiting until 8 o'clock and it's freaking, it's so tiring. I can actually get to bed at a decent hour. Let's see what else. That's really mainly it. We've got AEW and everything. In this, you will only get SmackDown from last week because tomorrow you will get the go-home shows from SmackDown and Monday Night Raw on the preview and predictions. You'll get the picks of the matches that I will give, and then I'll get you out of here tomorrow. And it will be at 11 a.m., so tune in. So today we're going to be covering last week's SmackDown, Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, and Battle of the Belts. Battle of the Belts was, I believe, on Collision this past week. So Speaking of Collision, it will be on at 5 p.m. tomorrow because Tony Khan actually did something smart. Oh my God. Let's give it a round of applause for TK. He got one in the win column. He said, something dawned on him, or somebody said, do you know what's on Saturday that we're not going to get a diddly squat? And we got really ridiculed the last time we went on for the last PLE, which was Money in the Bank. Let's go on Collision at 5 p.m. That's the smart thing to do. So we are going to do money. We're going to actually do AEW because tomorrow is going to be all focused on that. Let's give AEW a little bit of the lead into this podcast. Okay. So yeah, we're going to, but first and foremost, please do me a favor and go check out Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. If you have a beard or know somebody who has one and they want to keep their beard tight, go check them out. They have really great products. They have really great merchandise, and they have awesome people working there. They're doing great things for the community, so I had to hitch my name to it and give you all the dish. Please go check them out at maestroclassics.com. Please do me a favor and go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. If you are dying of thirst and you want to murder your thirst, go check out Liquid Death and get all your artillery. You have spring water, flavored salsa water, salsa water, iced tea, and power pack, so you can make any drink a sports pack. So go check them out at liquiddeath.com. Also, please go check out Deathwish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. Visit the website for the world's strongest coffee with the lowest acidic rate. And they have great merchandise, they have great accessories, and they can get you ready for fall. So go check them out. Deathwishcoffee.com. Also, please, House of Glory, if you are an independent wrestling junkie like I am, please do me a favor, go support the one that's in my tri-state area, which is House of Glory. This August in Vegas, we're going to have East Coast versus West Coast, the Future Stars of Wrestling versus Hog Superstars. We have the first match announced. We have Amazing Red versus Chris Bay. We also had September 5th, Chicago Logan Square Auditorium. Mustafa Ali is going to be there. Dijak, Joe Alonzo's making his appearance, and Kylie Ray is going to be there. So go with all your tickets at hogwrestling.net and say his name, and he will appear on September 29th for House of Glory debut, Joe Hendry. So go get all your tickets at hogwrestling.net. And you can get you can watch it on the Thriller app and download it, and you can subscribe to Thriller Plus. So that is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. All right. AEW Rampage from last week. AEW Rampage was broadcast from the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. Kicking off the show was the Royal Rampage. There are 10 total entrants. The last man... Oh, before we get into that, please follow me on my social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Cameo, and Threads. All Mel'S Mat Chat. The only thing that's different is my OnlyFans and Snapchat, which is Real Mel'S Mat Chat. So go on there. This coming Tuesday will be my first time on OnlyFans doing NXXT, which I will be doing the review on there completely topless. So if you want to come and check it out, and you get to see these lovely tatas in living color, come on over. It's only $5 a month to get to see me topless to do OnlyFans. So, and if you want to donate to the podcast, please go check out my PayPal account, and you can donate write a message, and I will be announcing it on the next telecast of Mel's Mat Chat. So here we go. So there's the Royal Rampage match. There are 10 total entrants. The last man standing in each respective ring will go to battle it out to determine who will challenge for the AEW World Championship at Grand Slam coming up in September. Freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy came out to the ring first. Blackpool Combat Club Claudio Castagnoli was out in the ring. Next, House of Black Brody King, who won the inaugural Royal Rampage, walked out third. Next is Commander. Commander and Claudio began in one ring, while Cassidy and Brody began in another. Commander chopped at Claudio with kicks. Claudio blocked an arm drag attempt from Commander, while Brody blocked one from Orange. Claudio gave Brody a thumbs up, showing a little nod of approval to the House of Black member. After a minute interval, the conglomeration Tomohiro Ishii came out next. Tomohiro and Brody traded chops. Brody blasted Ishii with a massive forearm. Ishii and Orange teamed up to take down Brody with a schoolboy lariat. The Machine, Brian Cage, was next to and entered and went right after Claudio with an area code shot. Cage planted Commander with a half Nelson slam. The Butcher entered the fray, and he and Brody teamed up to drop an elbow on Ishii. Brody and Butchie slugged it out, their alliance short-lived. Daddy Magic Matt Menard was next participant, jumping up from the broadcast booth and entering the match. Daddy Magic jabbed at Brian Cage. Roderick Strong entered the Royal Rampage next and clobbered Brody with stomps and a big knee strike. Roddy nailed Butcher with a sick kick. Super bad Kip Sabian came out and drop kicked Claudio. Sabian followed up with a cannonball to Claudio. Randy Cutler walked down to the ring next. Ishii immediately eliminated Cutler with a running lariat. That may be the quickest elimination ever, said Tony Schiavone. Out next, Nick Wayne went right after Kip Sabian, hitting him with a flying European uppercut. The conglomeration, Kyle O'Reilly, was next participant, and he went right to Roderick Strong, turning Roddy inside out with vicious kicks. Jeff Jarrett got a huge hometown reaction as he made his way down to the ring. Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion Matt Taven jumped in and drilled Cassidy with a DDT. Commander was eliminated by Nick Wayne. Jay Lethal jumped in, and he and Nick Wayne duked it out. Kip Sabian flipped Nick Wayne over the top rope and down to the arena floor. The Patriarch watched on backstage as Wayne was eliminated. Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion Mike Bennett came down to even up the odds and for the Undisputed Kingdom. Bennett chopped at Ishii, but Ishii didn't budge. The Beast Montrose jumped into the ring and wiped out Cage and Claudio. He cracked Lethal with a headbutt. Jeff Jarrett wasn't eliminated, intimidated and took down the Beast. Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett sent Kip Sabian packing. Darby Allin was the next participant. After this man went through 2 nights ago, Darby Allin is entering the Royal Rampage, said Excalibur. And the final man entered the ring, Lio Rush. Brody and Darby brawled through the stands, neither man having been eliminated. Lio Rush rocked Brian Cage with a DDT. Lio Rush knocked the Beast Montrose out of the ring with a handspring kick. Darby flew at Roderick Strong with a forearm shot. Claudio hurled Leo out of the ring, and then Claudio eliminated Jay Lethal. Darby Allin used his body as a battering ram, eliminated Brody King. Darby was the last man standing in the ring. Hangman Adam Page jumped into the ring out of nowhere and ambushed Jeff Jarrett. Brian Cage threw Jeff Jarrett over the top rope, and Hangman Adam Page continued the assault on Jeff Jarrett. Claudio nailed Cage with a neutralizer and eliminated Cage. Claudio and Darby went were the last two men in the match. Claudio press slammed Darby over the top rope of the one of the ring and sent him flying into the second ring. Claudio and Darby put Darby in the giant swing and swung Darby into the steel ring steps. How does Darby do it? How does he survive? Wondered Matt Menard. Don't count Darby out, replied Tony Schiavone. Claudio went for a German suplex, but Darby landed on his feet. They jockeyed for position on the ring apron. Darby nailed Claudio with a coffin drop and won the match. Darby Allin survives the Royal Rampage and now will challenge for the AEW World Championship at Grand Slam on Wednesday, September 25th, said Excalibur. I kneel before Darby Allin. He is the most incredible athlete I've been around my entire life, said Tony Schiavone. I am so stuffy today. The Murder Hawk. Lance Archer versus Alejandro. Archer carried his already knocked out opponent to the ring. Archer decimated opponent with a spinebuster. Archer choked, slammed his opponent twice, dominating him. Archer put things to the end with a blackout and scored the pin easily to a victory. That was it. That was like a blink. It was over. Rampage main event. 4-way tag team match. Private Party. Don Callis' family, Roosh and Kyle Fletcher. Outrunners. Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd. The Righteous, Vincent and Dutch. This was over before it was even gone. I'm telling you, Rampage is not a fucking thing. It should be gone. Or fucking take that hour and give it to fucking Dynamite or fucking Collision. Preferably to Dynamite. Then you'd free up a Friday. The Outrunners used tandem offense on Vince with a double elbow drop. Dutch tagged in and bulldozed the Outrunners with a shoulder tackle. The Righteous worked over the Outrunners. Brother Zay tagged in and went for a springboard, but Dutch countered with a bossman slam. Private Party gained the upper hand on Don Callis' family with a beautiful tandem offense. Quen splashed Dutch with a 450 from a top turnbuckle. Turbo Floyd stunned Quen with a shot. Fletcher charged in and brutalized the Outrunners. Roosh and Kyle punished the Outrunners, picking them apart. Fletcher won the match with a belly-to-back tombstone piledriver to Truth. It's almost like Callis gave them a signal to end things, said Matt Menard. Roosh whipped Turbo Floyd with a camera cable after the match. This was completely unnecessary, a total mugging after the win. So that was that. Now we're on to Collision / Battle of the Belts. Okay. We are coming from, let me get my notes all the way up here. It was coming from the Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas. So we started off with Orange Cassidy versus Johnny TV. Orange dodged a series of round kicks from Johnny and then put Johnny's own sunglasses on. Johnny TV was furious and went outside the ring to have Tay calm him down. Orange wasted no time with a tope suicida to Johnny TV outside. Johnny TV came back with a Russian leg sweep on Orange. Orange rolled out of the way with a standing moonsault from Johnny. More frustrated now, Johnny wrenched on Orange's arm using a guardrail for a leverage. Johnny jumped off the middle rope using as a springboard and then connected with a kick to Orange's head, followed up with a swinging neck breaker for a near fall. Cassidy cracked Johnny out of nowhere with a stun dog millionaire, then a spinning DDT for a 2 count on Johnny. Johnny TV countered with a swinging neck breaker. Orange dodged the Starship Pain. Johnny grabbed Orange and put him in another neck breaker and then crashed onto Orange with a Starship Pain, but Orange kicked out. Orange stunned Johnny with a beach break and then the Orange punch and scored a pin. After the match, Johnny TV blindsided Orange. Taya began to stomp on Orange until CML's World Women's Champion Willow Nightingale ran down to help her tag team partner Orange. Johnny and Taya quickly retreated to the back. We go to the backstage where the Bang Bang Gang had words for the patriarch. Juice Robinson, rock hard. We don't cry over spilt milk. Mother Wayne, you screwed the pooch last week when you climbed up the ring and sprayed me in the eyes with an aerosol can. Austin, Christian, you're going to have to answer to the Bang Bang Gang. Colton, this is our show. We are the Collision Cowboys, and if you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you. Guns up. 3-way tag team match. Ring of Honor Pure Champion Lee Moriarty. The Machine Brian Cage. Blackpool Combat Club Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli versus Dante and Darius Martin Top Flight. Top Flight hit tandem offense on Claudio. The Infantry, Carly Bravo, and Sean Dean were watching this match closely backstage. The Machine Brian Cage tagged and implanted Dante with a full Nelson slam. Claudio got a hot tag and cleared the house on Cage and Moriarty. Claudio jumped on Lee with a double foot stomp for a near fall. Claudio hurled Lee around the ring with a giant swing. Darius grabbed a blind tag from Claudio. Darius faced planted Lee and went for a cover, but Wheeler jumped in to break the pin up. Cage and Claudio traded forearms in the center of the ring. Top Flight knocked both Cage and Claudio out of the ring with a double thrust kick. They followed up with a tope suicida on to Claudio and Cage. Lee shot through the ropes with a tope to Dante, but Darius was there with a PK to wipe out Lee. Lee Moriarty climbed to the top rope and then nailed Darius with a double foot stomp, but Yuta grabbed a blind tag on Lee. Yuta wrapped up Darius in a seatbelt and stole the pin from the grasp of Lee Moriarty. Wheeler avenged what happened to him last night, said Tony Schiavone. And I did not watch Ring of Honor's pay-per-view. I forgot it even was on. I forget that Ring of Honor exists. Honestly, if Tony Khan was smart enough, he would revamp that, because it's right now it's in obscurity, and I would love to know how many people bought the pay-per-view. Honestly, Beast Montrose versus Hologram. The fans chanted hologram, hologram. The Beast Monstrous power slam Hologram. The Beast Monstrous charged at Hologram with a big pounce. Hologram booted the Beast with a pump kick. Hologram drilled Beast Monstrous with a Canadian destroyer on the apron. Hologram jumped off the top rope and flipped onto Beast Monstrous on the arena floor. Hologram rocketed out of the ring with a tope suicida back in the ring. Hologram spiked the Beast Monstrous with a poison rana for a near fall. The Beast Monstrous power bombed Hologram onto his knee and clubbed the Hologram with a lariat for a near fall. The fans chanted, "This is awesome! This is awesome!" Monstrous tried to slam Hologram off the top, but Hologram countered with a Hurricane Rana. Hologram finished the Beast Monstrous with a crucifix bomb and scored the victory via pinfall. This man's a star, said Nigel. Man, Thunder Rosa, you really need to get the hell out of AEW. I feel so bad for you. Thunder Rosa versus Maya World. Thunder Rosa took down Maya with an arm drag. Thunder Rosa followed up with a drop kick to Maya World. Arya slapped Thunder Rosa in the face and taunted her. Thunder Rosa chopped back and then grounded and pounded Maya after a Fez press. Thunder Rosa double stomped Maya. Thunder Rosa applied a version of a camel clutch and forced Maya World to tap out. Creative submission on part of Thunder Rosa, said Nigel. Backstage, the Murder Hawk monster decimated multiple men, slamming them against the wall and into one another. Archer said this Wednesday on Dynamite he's going to brutalize the aerial assassin Will Ospreay. Trios match: Premier Athlete Arya Davari, Josh Woods, and Tony Nese versus the Conglomeration Tomohiro Ishii, Kyle O'Reilly, and Mark Briscoe, Ring of Honor World Champion. Arya tripped up Kyle and pulled him out of the ring, and he and Josh double-teamed Kyle. Mark Briscoe grabbed a steel chair and used it as a launching pad, flying over the top rope and landing on a Premier Athlete, wiping them out. Briscoe used a Redneck Kung Fu in the ring on Nese. Briscoe blasted Nese with a brainbuster for a near fall. Mark went for the J Driller, but Mark Sterling jumped on the apron, distracting him long enough for Nese to smash Mark with a jawbreaker. Woods hurled three members of the Conglomeration across the ring, dishing out suplexes to them. Ishii bulldozed Woods with a lariat and then knocking Sterling off the apron with another lariat. Kyle grabbed an armbar on Woods and made Woods tap out. And that was that. FTW champion Chris Jericho had words for Suzuki after their match on Dynamite. Jericho has said his finger was broken. It's going to be very hard to wave at all the branches. And Shibata came back. Suzuki, I'm not through with you yet. I'm going to break two of your fingers. But Shibata, now you're back. The learning tree, the bad apple, and redwood are going to come for you. The Murder Hawk monster Lance Archer chased an opponent down the ramp. Archer chokeslammed his opponent 2 times after a brutal blackout. He planted his opponent and pinned him quick. Tune-up match before his bout with Will Ospreay this Wednesday on Dynamite. FTR Dax Hardware and Cash Wheeler versus M&M Collection, the Sultan of Suave, Mansoor, and Mason Madden, formerly known as Marseille and Mansoir of the what was it again? I can't even fucking think. Oh my god, Maxine Dupree. I can't even think of the tag team that they were in. Honestly. Mansoor knocked out Dax with a shoulder tackle. Cash tagged in and nailed Mansoor with a flying shoulder. Slingshotted himself off the top rope. Mansoor tagged out to a massive Mason Madden. Madden battered Cash with a body shot in the corner. Mansoor and Dax tagged in for their respective teams. FTR was looking for a shatter machine, but Madden grabbed Mansoor and pulled him out of the ring. Madden headbutted Cash. Mansoor cradled Cash for a near fall. Cash escaped and catapulted Mansoor into the turnbuckle. FTR finally put Mansoor in a shatter machine and pinned Mansoor after the miscalculation from Madden. And that was it. Collision main event. Leo Rush versus the Bastard Pack. Sounds like a fucking cruiserweight championship match. If you don't say yourself, this is not the first time that these two have met. Go back to the cruiserweights matches on Raw. My nose is running like crazy. This post-nasal drip is killing me. And I'm also bleeding. Pac rocked Roosh with a tilt-a-work backbreaker. Leo retaliated with a kick to Pac's midsection. The bastard Pac fired back with a running elbow. Leo rocked a German suplex by holding on to the ropes. Blocked, sorry. Leo rammed Pac into the steel ring post. Rush rocketed out of the ring with a tope suicida, hitting Pac like a torpedo. Rush nailed Pac with a falcon arrow for a near fall. Pac folded up with Leo with a German suplex out of nowhere. Leo staggered to stand, but Pac with a poison rana and then a cutter for a 2 count. Leo tried for a frog splash, but Pac countered by lifting his knees into Leo's ribs. Pac smashed Leo with a lariat and then forced Leo to tap out once Pac applied the brutalizer. And that was that. So we're gonna head into Battle of the Belts. Battle of the Belts are like they're like Clash of the Champions. And there were one, two, three matches on this, which honestly they should take Rampage and turn it into Battle of the Belts. Then they wouldn't have to be doing this. AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator match. Toni Storm versus Taya Valkyrie. Why is she getting this opportunity? Has she been winning matches? No. Toni took down Taya with a Thez press and grounded and pounded with her left and right fist. Storm crashed Taya with a running hip attack outside the ring. Taya lured Toni into the steel ring steps and charged at Toni with a meteora. Storm rallied back with a hip attack on the ring. Toni spiked Taya with a DDT for a near fall. Taya slid beneath Storm at the bottom of the rope and nailed Toni with a German suplex. Taya connected with Shana Payne and covered Toni, but Toni was too close to the ropes and put her boot up to break the pin. Toni stunned Taya with a Storm Zero and picked up the victory with a pinfall. Toni Storm, first things first. This tramp is still champ. Mariah May, you were perfect. You were all my dreams come to life. And you sometimes were even better than me, but then you were better. You were even a better me than I was. But Mariah, you made things one minuscule mistake when you had me on my knees, crying, screaming, bleeding, and screaming your name. You should have cut my bloody head off. Lexi Nairn interviewed Kip Saban backstage. Saban. As everyone is aware, I lost my father, and the last 4 months I have been on a roller coaster ride. But what's important to me is to be the best wrestler I could be. Nick Wayne, I saw you in that Royal Rampage, and you had a pretty good showing until you stepped up to me, and I eliminated me. You know where to find. I eliminated you. Sorry. Where you know where you could find me. I'm better than ever. We had a CMLL Women's World Championship Eliminator match. I love that other titles are getting defended in AEW, but Jesus Christ, seriously. Oh my God, my nose is bleeding badly. So if you see blood coming out of my nose, I'm sorry. Willow picked up Deanna with ease and body slammed her, followed up with a running crossbody for a near fall. Deanna lured Willow and attacked Willow's arm. Willow fired back with a power bomb for a near fall. Willow hit a snap suplex. Willow climbed to the top turnbuckle, but Deanna pulled her down hard. Willow drilled Deanna with a Death Valley driver, but Deanna kicked out at the count of two. Willow put Deanna on the top turnbuckle and suplexed Deanna. Willow walloped Deanna with a running lariat. Taya Valkyrie walked down the ramp to the ring. Taya tried to hand Deanna a turnbuckle, but Thunder Rosa sprinted down and grabbed Taya by the waist, and Taya and Thunder Rosa brawled around the ringside. The champ pounced Deanna. Willow planted Deanna with the Babe with a powerbomb, pinned Deanna. This Wednesday on Dynamite, it'll be champ Willow Nightingale facing her former best friend Chris Statlander in a CMLL World Women's Championship Eliminator match. The Battle of the Belts main event, 6-man tag team championship match. The Undisputed Kingdom, Roderick Strong and Ring of Honor tag team champions Mike Bennett and Nat Taven versus the Natural Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs, Ross and Marshall Von Erich. Ring of Honor Board of Directors Paul White joined commentary. So now Paul White, the Big Show, this is getting funnier and funnier each and every single day. Marshall hip toss Mike Bennett hip toss Mike Taven in. Taven tagged in and Marshall hip tossed him out. The Von Erichs hit tandem offense on Taven. Marshall connected with a standing moonsault and then a dropkick to Taven. Ross rocketed Roddy with a sling blade. Dustin tagged in and drilled Bennett with lariats. Dustin power slammed Roddy. Dustin drilled Taven with a bulldog. Dustin followed up with a Canadian destroyer on Taven. Dustin nailed Bennett with a crossroads and then pile driver. Dustin went for a cover, but Roddy and Taven broke up a pin attempt. The Undisputed Kingdom triple teamed Dustin with a fury of offense. Roddy and Matt grabbed the title belts. Ref Aubrey Edwards intercepted them, but she was distracted by that. Taven smashed the cowbell into Dustin's skull for a near fall. Shibata ran to the ring and applied the Iron Claw on Taven. Kevin put Roderick in the Iron Claw. Marshall and Ross battered Bennett with a knee strike and a discus lariat. Dustin planted Bennett and scored the pin. We have new Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions, the Natural Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs. I thought they fucking merged them with fucking trios championships. I don't understand this. I really don't. I really don't. I don't get this. We go to Dynamite. Dynamite was coming from the Bon Scissors Wellness Center in Greenville, South Carolina. Started off with the AEW American Champion MJF came down to the ring to kick things off. MJF cut my music. Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the man who single-handedly defeated with ease that red coat terrorist Will Ospreay and brought gold back to our great nation. The same man who will be a one-man militia and will walk into the enemy territory at All In, and I will be Will Ospreay again. Show me some respect. Please rise for your American hero. Will Ospreay Music began to play. Osprey sprinted to the ring, and MJF ran for the hills. Osprey, Max, do yourself a favor, mate, and keep running. After what you said last week about my family, bro, I'm going to put you through pain like you can't even imagine. I know one thing about Yanks, mate. They love their country the way that I love my country. But I'm not a single person will but not a single person will acknowledge that championship because some prick is holding it. But when you took the international championship last week and threw it in the trash, like it was a piece of garbage. Men have worked hard to make that sure that title has lineage, the legacy. Men like Mox, Pac, Moxley, Orange Cassidy, Ray Phoenix, Roderick Strong, and myself. You, Max, you do not fit those criteria. It isn't that the title isn't worth anything to you, MJF. It's that you are not worthy of holding that championship. MJF doesn't respect the American work ethic. When you come to my home turf, I will restore honor to the AEW International Championship. MJF, you people like Will Ospreay, you disgusting turncoats. I'm an American hero. I've got morals. I let my actions do the talking. Pal, I'm going to annihilate you at all in front of your countrymen. After tonight, I've got a feeling you're going to make it easy. You're not going to make it go. I've got a feeling you're not going to make it easy, bruv. Make it to Wembley, bruv, because tonight everybody dies. So this was the segue for his match with Lance Archer. Oh, breaking news. WWE is holding official meetings with the Hardy Boys. So they could be coming back to WWE. Archer splashed Will in the corner turnbuckles with a vicious choke slam to start the match. Archer slugged Osprey with a forearm. Osprey rallied back with a corkscrew kick. Osprey flipped over the top rope, but Archer plucked him out of midair. Archer's body slammed Will onto the arena floor. Osprey wiped out Archer with a hurricane rana into the steel barricade. Osprey connected with a drop kick, but Archer kicked out of the count out at the count of one. Archer choke slammed Osprey off the top turnbuckle. Osprey escaped another choke slam attempt. Osprey went for an Oscutter, but Archer countered and slammed Osprey on the mat for a near fall. Archer spiked Will with a spine buster for another near fall. Archer charged at Will, but Will countered with a thrust kick and a Spanish fly. Archer was looking for an avalanche chokeslam, but Osprey countered with a Spanish fly from the top rope. Osprey stunned Archer with an Oscutter out of nowhere for a near fall. Osprey tried for a hidden blade, but Archer countered with a lariat for a 2 count. Archer went for a blackout, but Osprey countered with a DDT and followed up with a hidden blade. Osprey smashed Archer with a second hidden blade right on the jaw and pinned Archer. This is one Osprey's best wins. He had to hit a hidden blade twice to get it done, said Shivani. After the match, MJF ambushed Osprey. MJF nailed Osprey with a brainbuster. MJF put on his dynamite diamond ring, but Kyle Fletcher jumped in the ring, coming to the aid of Osprey. MJF retreated back up the ramp. Fletcher, Don, I know you said no more getting involved in Osprey's business because it's not family business, but he is my best friend. He may no longer be part of the Don Callis family, but Will is my brother. Max, allow me to reintroduce myself. I am Karma. I'm your karma coming to bite your ass. I heard you say last week about America. You don't give a damn about America. All I care about what's best for MJF. And I heard what you said about foreign wrestlers. I dreamt of the one day moving to this country, and because this is where the best wrestle, all I can hear is where the big boy play. Now, this country has given me my dream girl, my dream car, my dream house. We are sick of the same old MJF bullcrap. So you get your ass down here right now so I can punch you in the face. MJF, you want me right now? No. You don't call the shots around here. I do. Nobody punches an American hero in the face that gets away with it. So you want a match? You are going to get it get one on my time. Me versus you, Dynamite next week. You're on. But if you thought Wembley was bad last year, I'm going to kangaroo kick your face off and I'm going to make you suffer the same fate Daniel Garcia did. I'm going to break your neck and leave you in a pool of your own blood. And you won't be able to blame it on one person. You will only be able to blame it on one person, Will Ospreay. I can't wait to see your face. Well, when I'm down dismantling your boy, and for that you can thank me later. Now, Daniel Garcia's contract's coming up. WWE wants him in the worst way. So we shall see what's going on with him. Oh, good golly, Whitakers, we got the fucking learning tree. Oh, for the love of Jesus. I am thirsty as hell right now. Alex Marvez backstage with FTW champion Chris Jericho. Big Bill, I got a cake to celebrate 102 days for the world champion, Chris Jericho. Jericho told Shibata he was going to smash his face. You're all alone. There's no more Samoa Joe, and we haven't seen Hook since I threw a fireball in his face. Next week, you'll be facing the bad apple, Brian Keith, said Jericho. Oh my God, my nose is like running. I don't know if it's blood or it's like mucus. I'm so sorry. CML World Women's Champion Elimination Match. Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander. Statlander blasted Willow with a big-time drop kick from the top turnbuckle. Willow retaliated with a pump kick. Chris countered with a spinebuster with a roll-up, but Willow escaped. Willow tried for a cannonball against the barricade, but Statlander dodged it. Willow clubbed Chris with a clothesline and then followed up with a spinebuster for a 2 count. Statlander fired off with an axe handle on Willow Nightingale. Willow drilled Chris with a Death Valley driver on the apron. Willow turned her attention to Stokely, but Chris blindsided Willow. Statlander jumped off the top rope, but Willow countered with a power bomb and then a DDT for a near fall on Chris Statlander. Chris came back with a 450 splash, but Willow kicked out at 2. Stokely passed Chris with a metal chain and distracted the referee. Statlander wrapped the chain around her hand and smashed her fist into Willow's face, knocking Willow out and picking up the win. Aubrey Edwards never saw the chain, said Excalibur. After the match, Stokely handed Chris a steel chair. Chris whacked Willow in the back with a steel chair. Security ran down and into the ring to try to slow Chris. Attacked Chris tore through the security guard until Stokely stopped her, telling her to save some for her energy. On the eve of the AEW contract expiration for a few weeks before his AEW World Championship match against Swerve Strickland at All In London, we heard from the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Danielson, it's true what they say. You don't realize the good old days until they're almost gone. Tonight, I'm here to talk to you guys about 2 things: presence and promise. I've been lucky in my career. I had my career taken away from me, and I came back, and I've been able to be present. The last 3 years in AEW have been the most fun of my whole career. I've been able to be present. There are some moments I'll never understand. I'm able to be present right now. And let's talk about promises. I promised my daughter when she was seven, I would stop wrestling full time. I promised my family that my contract with AEW would be my last full time contract I ever signed. The contract ends tomorrow. I promised myself every time I step inside this ring, I'd give everything I had because the fans deserve it. And I deserve it. When I came to AEW, I was going to kick people in the head. And I said I was going to win the AEW World Championship. Over the last 3 years, I've kicked a lot of people's heads in. But I have not won the AEW World Championship yet. Now, this is probably going to be my last shot. Not probably, it will be my last shot. And it is the biggest show of the year. And there are doctors who are telling me not to wrestle. But my promise is I will go to Wembley Stadium and I will be present for that moment. I will give you my 100%, and there is 100%, and where 100% is not possible, I promise that at all in with my mind, body, and soul, I will go all in. And to AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland interrupted Danielson walking to the ring with Prince Nana. Swerve, I'm going to keep it real with you, Brian. I respect the hell out of you. You inspire an entire generation of wrestlers to pursue their dreams. And if there were any other time, I'd root for you to have your moment. But this is Swerve's time. When I came to AEW, I said I was going to win the AEW World Championship, and I did. You're one of the greatest of this generation, but I'm one of a kind. I think that's Rob Van Dam, LOL. You came in here and you said you were going to win the AEW World Championship, and I kicked people's head in. I guess you couldn't handle it when people started kicking back. This is not an achievement award. This belt shows you and everybody else that you are beyond the shadow of a doubt the best wrestler in the world. And I am the best wrestler in the world. You challenged Will Ospreay, you lost, and you got hurt. I took him on, and I won. You were in the Anarchy in Arena, and you lost. I lead Team AEW, and we won in blood and guts. Maybe your body just can't handle the pressures of being the champion. I know you want to be in the moment, so let's be in this moment, Brian. And let me make you a promise. I promise that I am going to be the most dangerous man in AEW. I'm going to promise you this. I am going to be walking out of All In as champion. And after I am done with you, you may never walk again. Brian, Swerve, I have one promise. I promise if I don't win the AEW World Championship, I will never wrestle again. Your title versus my career at All In. Swerve, what do you say? Swerve, that is very noble of you, Brian, but don't keep promises to me. Keep it with your family. Swerve and Brian shook hands. So this sends this match to a little bit of more unpredictability. Does Brian actually win the title? Does Swerve's title ring end? I don't think it should end. Honestly, it should be Hangman Adam Page because of the fact that he's lost so many times to Swerve. So we'll see. And I will be covering All In. Oh my god, my eyes are itching like crazy today. My allergies are killing me today. Renee Paquette was trying to interview Brian backstage. Jeff Jarrett clapped and cheered on Brian. That's what I'm talking about. Brian, you want to see if I'm all in? How about me against you next week? Trios match. The conglomeration: Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Tomohiro Ishii versus Roderick Strong, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett. Montrose, Roderick Strong, Roosh, and the Beast Monstros. Sorry, Mike Bennett at Mike Tavern. Sorry. Montrose speared Orange. Ishii got caught with a belly to belly throw by Montrose. Ishii knocked Montrose down with a shoulder tackle. Ishii and Roosh traded forearms. Roosh knocked Ishii with a rolling elbow strike. Briscoe and Roosh chopped one another. Briscoe shut down Roosh with a big elbow. Roderick Strong cut off Briscoe with a drop kick. Briscoe rallied back with a flipping neckbreaker on Roddy. Briscoe used a steel chair as a launching pad and a jumping onto the Beast, Montrose, and Roosh. Briscoe unleashed the redneck kung fu on Roosh and the Beast, Montrose. Ishii tagged in and knocked down Roddy with one strike. Ishii followed up with a release German suplex. Orange jumped into the mix and spiked Roddy with a DDT. Briscoe dropping the froggy bow. Ishii tried to finish Roddy with a sliding lariat, but Roddy kicked out at the count of two. Roddy spiked Ishii with a tiger driver for a near fall. Ishii cracked Roderick with a headbutt. Briscoe and Montrose tagged in. Roosh rocked Mark with a belly-to-belly suplex into the turnbuckles. Mark tried for a Dre driller on Montrose, but Roosh ran in and headbutted Mark. Montrose spiked Mark down onto his head and scored the pin. I love it when a plan comes together, said Don Callis. He was on commentary. The Acclaim and Daddy Ass were backstage. Daddy Ass, we're coming to Collision. Caster, that's right, we're looking for FTR in their own territory, but they're nowhere to be found. You're frightened of the Blood and Guts MVP. Don't worry, everyone loves the Acclaim. I want to be welcomed by the two guys, FTR, by those two guys who said, I'm not a serious wrestler because I rap songs. Maybe you're not serious wrestlers because you didn't show up in your hometown to get your ass whooped. Bowens, that's fine. We will come to you Saturday night on Collision at 5 p.m. Eastern. FTR will show up and it's time to nut up or shut up. Women's World Champion Toni Storm versus Mariah May. Mariah May had an interview with Renee Paquette. Mariah May, what do you have to explain? It's been very clear. From day one, I said I wanted to be just like Toni Storm. I got her trust. I sliced her open and wore her skin. What do you not understand? Renee, why Toni Storm? What did she ever do to you? Mariah, nothing. And that's why she was perfect. She always said the business would eat you alive. Guess it was my turn to eat. I'm not answering any more questions. So then Toni Storm had a rebuttal. So she came up to the ramp. Toni, Mariah May, you say you loved me. Well, I love you too. They say you should find what you love and let it kill you. Well, all in, I'm going to romance of a bloody lifetime. We're going to have a romance of a bloody lifetime. Camille versus Brittany J. Camille bull rushed her opponent in the corner. She pulled off and hammered Brittany. Camille tossed Brittany across the ring and followed up with a guillotine leg drop. Camille drove Brittany Jade into a mat and pinned her. In a word, domination by Camille, said Excalibur. So Mercedes comes into the ring, Please say hello to your CEO and please welcome your newest member to Money Incorporation, Camille. Now you can see why I call her the Brick House. For weeks, I've been victimized by Britt Baker. I've tried to turn my cheek the other way, but DMD, but it's like Brit obsessed with me. But I mean, who is not obsessed with me? I'm not, and she's got a divorce. So for all you fucking goddamn Sasha freaks, you may have a chance. Not. I have a better chance of fucking goddamn sleeping with goddamn Rhea Ripley than you guys have it with Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné. Britt, you may have gotten your match at All In after that stunt you pulled at Comic Con, but you've always been suspended by the EVPs. I'm about to turn this house into a mansion. Losing to me at All In will be the greatest thing that's happened to you at to your career at All In London because money changes everything. You goddamn right. Went to your head, honestly. Main event Hangman Adam Page versus Darby Allin. Darby blasted Page with shotgun drop kick. Darby attempted a corporate coffin drop, but Page caught him with a counter, caught him and countered with him with a German suplex onto the arena floor. Darby went immediate, clutching his right shoulder. Hangman whipped Darby into a steel barricade. Hangman grabbed a steel chair and stalked Darby up the ramp. The ref told Page to get back in the ring. Darby drilled to Hangman with a cutter on the stage. Darby climbed to the top of the ramp and nailed Page with a coffin drop from the entrance tunnel. He's unbelievable, said Tony Schiavone. The lights went during the match. The lights were restored and the Hangman whipped Darby into the steel ring steps. Tad speculated that maybe the fuse went out momentarily. Hangman whipped Darby into the steel steps again, but Darby vaulted over them. Darby jumped at Page, but Page powerbombed Darby onto this ring apron. Hangman hurled Darby into the steps with a fall away slam. A grotesque landing for Darby Allin, said Excalibur. Hangman hit an avalanche fall away slam on Darby, sending Darby all the way into the other side of the ring with force and momentum. Hangman got into the steel ring steps, but Darby swept out Hangman's legs. Darby gouged at Hangman's eyes. Darby drilled Hangman with a battering ram through the steel ring steps out onto Hangman. Vance chanted, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Darby pulled his belt off and whipped Adam Page in the back. Darby connected with a shotgun drop kick and then a coffin splash in the corner. Darby rocked Page with a code red. Darby went for a coffin drop, but Hangman countered, catching Darby with a sleeper. Darby escaped and went for a buckshot lariat, but Hangman countered the clubbing clothesline. Adam Page powerbombed Darby in the ring and covered Darby for a 2 count. Page planted Darby with 2 dead eyes in the center of the ring. "Just cover him, dude. It's done," said Taz. "That's not the face of a man that is well," said Excalibur. "He's a sick man," added Taz. Hangman went for a buckshot lariat, but Darby collapsed to the mat before Hangman could connect. Page grabbed Darby and picked him up on his feet. Darby rolled up Hangman and cradled out of nowhere and grabbed the pin. Darby Allin, my God, said Tony Schiavone. Hangman was furious, feeling it was a quick count, but the replay showed it was a fair and square. And that was the end of that. So Rampage is next week. They're coming from the LJVM Coliseum in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And that is that. We're going to get into My tablet just decided to freaking freeze. Sorry. SmackDown from last week. Nick Aldis, ladies and gentlemen, sorry to inform you, but based on your actions last week, Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, you suffered an eye injury. You're not medically cleared to compete. So I have the unfortunate responsibility to tell you that it looks like you're going to have to forfeit your spot in the tag team gauntlet. Tamatanga, what? What do you say? Nick Aldis, I think you heard what I said. Tamatanga, forfeit. We're not forfeiting nothing. Solo, hold on. I appreciate your concern, but the bloodline, we're not forfeiting nothing. Do you understand? You see, Tangaloa here, he's part of the bloodline. So is this man. So tonight, the gauntlet, the bloodline will be represented by Tamatanga and Jacob Fatu if you say it's okay with you. Nick Aldis, you know what? Solo, actually, it is. Jacob, Tamatanga, you're in. Solo Sequoia, bring the titles back home. Do you understand me? Bring them home. I want our tag team titles back in the bloodline. We're taking it all. LA Knight's promo. Let me talk to you. Here, we are making a little pit stop at SmackDown before we go to SummerSlam. And Santos Escobar couldn't seem to remember how many times you've been dropped on his head by this guy. Well, tonight, I'll be the professor. Class is in session. We're going to teach Santos a bit about history. Then we're going to go to SummerSlam. And, well, Logan Paul, I'm not going to teach you, man. I'm going to teach you statistics. No English, but will teach you how to get your keister stomped by the man they call the megastar. Yeah. And no matter what classroom you sit in, the curriculum is always the same with everybody saying LA Knight. Yeah. Now hit my music. First match, LA Knight versus Santos Escobar. Knight steps inside the V trigger. Knight is throwing haymakers at Escobar. Escobar applies the side headlock. Knight whips Escobar across the ring. Escobar drops Knight with a shoulder tackle. Knight drops down on the canvas. Knight with a hip toss. Knight with a deep arm drag. Knight applies an armbar. Escobar backs Knight into the turnbuckles. Knight with a wrist lock takedown. Knight drops his leg on the left shoulder of Escobar. Knight hyperextends the left shoulder of Escobar. Knight whips Escobar across the ring. Knight scores the elbow. Knocked down. Knight with a clubbing shoulder blocks. Knight transitions into a corner mount. Escobar dumps Knight face first on the top turnbuckle. Escobar kicks Knight in the ribs. Escobar repeatedly stomps on Knight's chest. Escobar unloads two knife edge chops. Escobar with a side vertical suplex. Escobar with a double leg takedown. Escobar applies the sharpshooter. Knight grabs the bottom rope, which forces the break. Knight with a three haymakers. Knight clotheslines Escobar with a drop toe hold onto the middle rope. Lopez slaps Knight in the face. Escobar clocks Knight with a 619. Escobar has complete control of the match during the commercial break. Escobar with a shotgun meteor for a 2 count. Escobar applies the Cobra clutch. Knight with a heavy body shots. Knight with a running neck breaker. Escobar reverses it out of an Irish whip from Knight. Escobar with a tilt-a-work backbreaker for a 2 count. Escobar talks smack to Knight. Escobar slaps Knight in the face. Escobar is mauling Knight in the corner. Knight decks Escobar with a back elbow smash. Knight whips Esquire chest first into the turnbuckles. Knight repeatedly stomps on Esquire's chest. Knight with a running knee strike. Knight ducks a clothesline from Esquire. Knight kicks Esquire in the gut. Knight drops Esquire with a DDT for a 2 count. Knight goes for a torture rack, but Lopez gets in the way. Esquire denies the BFT. Knight with a pop-up power slam. The referee gets distracted by Lopez. Knight avoids the titanium punch from Logan Paul. Knight clothesline Paul off the ring apron. Esquire super kicks Knight. Esquire goes for a phantom driver, but Knight lands back on his feet. Knight connects with the BFT to pick up the victory. After the match, Paul attacks Knight. Paul is putting the boots to Knight. Knight drives Paul back into the turnbuckles. Knight is stopping a mud hole and walking it dry. Knight goes for a running knee strike, but Esquire with a V trigger. Paul and Esquire gangs up on Knight. Paul plants Knight with the frog splash. Byron Saxon had a backstage interview with Naomi. Why did Blair Davenport initially show her sign of respect and then a few seconds later attack her from behind? She doesn't know what Blair's issue is with her. She's done nothing to that newbie. Blair is clearly trying to play mind games with Naomi, but it's not going to work. Naomi says that she is not going to make Belair feel the glow, but respect as well. Belair and Jade join the conversation. Jade thinks Belair is lame, and she'll be getting her comeuppance soon. Bianca Belair is focused on heading to the ring to address the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the Unholy Union. Naomi tells Bianca and Jade to handle their business. Logan Paul tells Byron Saxton that the beatdown LA Knight just received was a little appetizer of what's ahead for their United States Championship match at SummerSlam. It is the first it's the first course of 3-course meal, and he's going to whip LA Knight. Cleveland, Ohio is Logan's hometown. His friends and family will be there. Logan teases another big star from Cleveland that will be attending the show. Logan says that LA Knight is not just fighting a social media superstar at SummerSlam. No, he's fighting the pride of Cleveland. The ultimate underdog turned top dog. He's not ready. Yeah. Corey Graves recaps the latest live event tour that happened in Japan. And I watched the match. Go and check it out. It's on WWE Bolt's YouTube channel with Mako Satomura and Bailey. Bianca Belair. Now, I love you all, and they're addressing. I would love to stay out here all night, but I'm going to cut to the chase. Now, Alba and Isla have been ghosting us ever since they got the titles at Clash. Now, they said they were going to be here at SmackDown, right? They said they were going to bring those titles. So where are they at? Jade Cargill, so where they're at. So they need to stop ducking us and dodging us and come out here with our belts and catch these hands. The Unholy Union attacks Belair and Cargill from behind. Fire is choking Cargill with her boot. Belair and Fire in the face. Belair decks Dawn with a back elbow smash. Belair ducks clothesline from Dawn. Belair goes for a KOD, but Dawn retreats to the outside. Cargill throws Fire and into Dawn to close the segment. Tiffany Stratton is still dejected about Bayley destroying her Money in the Bank briefcase last week. Nia Jax tells Tiffany everything will be all right and she'll get her a brand new briefcase that's perfect for her. She could cash in on Bayley, but it would be a good strategy to immediately lose the title at SummerSlam. Besides, Tiffany wants to do it tonight to get revenge on Bayley. We have the next match. It's the next match is Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin versus Legado del Fantasma at the start of the gauntlet match. So LDF attacks Corbin and the Cruz before the bell rings. LDF gangs up on Corbin. Garza is choking Corbin with his boot. Carrillo throws Cruz into the steel steps. Garza with a running boot. Corbin sidesteps Garza into the turnbuckle. Corbin with a corner clothesline. Corbin with a short arm clothesline. Corbin scores the elbow knockdown. Corbin with a belly to back slam for a 2 count. Garza slaps Corbin in the chest. Garza tags in Carrillo. Garza with a waist lock go behind Carrillo with an apron into Gary. Garza super kicks Corbin up to the floor. Carrillo lands a suicide dive. LDF has competed complete control of the match during the commercial break. Corbin fights out of the fireman's carry position. Carrillo with a spinning into Gary. Corbin with a hip toss into the turnbuckle. Cruz and Garza are tagged in. Cruz clotheslines Garza. Cruz knocks Carrillo off the apron. Cruz thrust kicks the midsection of Garza. Cruz with a running pump kick. Cruz ducks a clothesline from Garza. Cruz with a leaping clothesline. Cruz pops back on his feet. Cruz with a 3 German suplex. Cruz with a stinger splash. Cruz goes for a flying clothesline, but Garza counters with a pump knee strike. Garza with the double underhook backbreaker for a 2 count. Carrillo clotheslines Corbin over the top rope. Corbin drags Carrillo out of the ring. Corbin throws Carrillo into the ring steps. Garza with a running knee strike. Garza goes for a wing clipper, but Cruz lands back on his feet. Corbin made a blind tag. Cruz with another pump kick. Corbin connects with the end of days. Legado del Fantasma has been eliminated. So Cruz and Corbin head into with the Street Profits. So Apollo Cruz and Montez Ford start things off. Cruz kicks Ford in the gut. Cruz sends Ford in the corner. Ford showcases his athleticism. Ford leapfrogs over Cruz. Cruz somersaults over Ford. That leads us to a quick standoff in the center of the ring. Cruz leapfrogs over Ford. Cruz drops down on the canvas. Cruz drop kicks Ford. Cruz goes for a delayed vertical suplex, but Ford lands back on his feet. Ford with belly back suplex and tags in Dawkins. Dawkins goes for a lateral press for a 2 count. Dawkins sends Cruz to the corner. Cruz dives over Dawkins. Cruz lunges over Dawkins. Cruz reverses out of the Irish whip. Dawkins cartwheels around Cruz. Both guys are knocked down after a double clothesline. Ford and Corbin are tagged in. Ford is throwing haymakers at Corbin. Corbin with a straight right hand. Sorry, my tablet decided to crap out. So Ford with a shoulder block from the apron. Corbin's respond with a leaping haymaker assisted somersault plancha. Corbin is fired up. Corbin goes for a superplex, but Ford blocks it. Ford headbutts Corbin. Ford dives over Corbin. Corbin kicks Ford in the face. Corbin ascends to the top turnbuckle. Corbin with a diving clothesline off the middle rope. Corbin power bombs Ford with a step up into Gary. Cruz and Dawkins are tagged in. Dawkins clotheslines Cruz. Cruz dodges the 360 Stinger Splash. Cruz with a Stinger Splash of his own. Dawkins ducks a clothesline from Cruz. It's a Geary exchange. Dawkins with a leg capture suplex. Ford sends Corbin shoulder first into the steel ring post. Cruz sends Dawkins tumbling to the floor. Stereo somersaults, planchas. Cruz rolls Dawkins back into the ring. Dawkins avoids the frog splash. Dawkins squirts a right jab. Dawkins tags in Ford. Street Profits deliver elevation. Apollo Cruz and Corbin have been eliminated. So now the Street Profits are going to go against Pretty Deadly, which I don't understand how the hell they got involved into this match, but it is what it is. Dawkins gets distracted by Elton. Prince. Wilson rolls over Dawkins over for a 2 count. Wilson with a inside cradle for a 2 count. Wilson with another quick roll up for a 2 count. Dawkins drop kicks Wilson with a flapjack. Dawkins whips Dawkins across the ring. Dawkins drops down on the canvas. Whips Dawkins across the ring. Dawkins drops down on the canvas. Ford with a shoulder tackle. Assisted moonsault. Double flapjack onto Wilson for a 2 count. Wilson shoves Ford. Ford ducks a clothesline from Wilson. Wilson tags out to Prince. Wilson escapes the atomic drop from Ford. Kicks Wilson in the gut. Ford goes for a vertical suplex, but Wilson counters with a chop block. Prince repeatedly stomps on the left hamstring of Ford. Prince hooks the outside leg for a 2 count. Prince tags in Wilson. Wilson is putting the boots to the left of Ford. Wilson wraps the left knee of Ford around the middle rope. Pretty Deadly are cutting the ring in half. Pretty Deadly poses. Ford displayed his fighting spirit. Prince continues to attack the left knee of Ford. Prince tags in Wilson. Wilson applies the cravat on the top rope. Prince with a straight right hand. Wilson with a sliding drop kick to the left knee of Ford. Wilson applies the single leg grab. Ford grabs the bottom rope, which forces the break. Wilson DDT the left knee of Ford. Wilson knocks Dawkins off the apron. Wilson with a repeated foot stomp. Wilson applies the standing leg lock. Ford kicks Wilson out of the ring. Dawkins and Prince are tagged in. Dawkins with two clotheslines. Prince reverses out of the Irish whip from Dawkins. Dawkins leapfrogs Prince. Dawkins with the corkscrew elbow. Dawkins with the 360 splash. Dawkins follows it up with a spinning enziguri for a 2 count. Dawkins whip Prince across the ring. Prince holds onto the top rope. Prince kicks Dawkins in the face. Prince tags in Wilson. Dawkins with a straight right hand. Prince reverses out of the Irish whip from Dawkins. Prince leapfrogs over Dawkins. Wilson drops Dawkins with a DDT for a 2 count. Wilson tags in Prince running uppercut party. Assisted double knee gutbuster for a 2 count. Ford dumps Wilson out of the ring. Prince launches Ford over the top rope. Dawkins rocks Prince with another haymaker. Dawkins tags in Ford. The Street Profits hit Doomsday Blockbuster. Pretty Deadly has been eliminated. The Street Profits, they will be taking on the Good Brothers. Anderson with a high kick. Gallows levels Ford with a body avalanche. Anderson hooks the outside leg for a 2 count. Anderson rakes the eyes over Ford. Following a snapmare takeover, Anderson applies the rear chin lock. Ford gets back into a vertical base. Anderson kicks Ford in the gut. Anderson scores the elbow knockdown for a 2 count. Anderson whips Ford back first into the turnbuckles. Anderson tags in Gallows. Gallows with a toe kick. Gallows with a running lariat for a 2 count. Gallows body slams Ford. Gallows tags in. Anderson hooks both legs for a 2 count. Anderson body slams Ford for a 2 count. Anderson cranks on Ford's neck. Anderson tags in Gallows. Gallows kicks Ford in the ribs. Gallows with a vertical suplex for a 2 count. Gallows with a hammer and elbows. Gallows applies a rear chin lock. Ford with a elbow into the midsection of Gallows. Gallows punches Ford in the back. Gallows goes for a body slam, but Ford counters with a DDT. Gallows tags in Anderson. Anderson stops Ford in his tracks. Anderson sends Ford to the corner. Ford launches Anderson into the outside. Ford sends Gallows tumbling to the floor. Ford tags in Dawkins. Dawkins lands the somersault plancha. Dawkins rolls Anderson back into the ring. Dawkins ducks a clothesline from Anderson. Anderson with a spine buster for a 2 count. Anderson tags in Gallows. Good brothers go for a running boot flapjack combination, but Dawkins pulls Anderson out of the ring. Dawkins rolls Gallows over to score the next pinfall. The Good Brothers have been eliminated. I would have actually liked to seen the Gallows and Anderson taking on Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. That would have been pretty cool. Oh my god, my nose is really badly bleeding. This is ridiculous. So the Street Profits versus the Bloodline, Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. Tonga is raining down forearm shivers in the corner. Tonga repeatedly stomps on Dawkins' chest. Tonga applies a side headlock. Tonga tags in Fatu. Double headbutt. Fatu slams Dawkins in head on the top turnbuckle pad. Fatu with the body avalanche. Fatu tags in Tonga. Assist hip toss. Tonga puts his leg on the back of Dawkins' neck. Solo attacks Dawkins behind the referee's back. Tonga with a elbow drop. Tonga tags in Fatu. Tonga applies a front face lock. Fatu kicks Dawkins in the gut. Fatu headbutts Dawkins. Fatu uses the middle rope to choke Dawkins. Solo delivers another cheap shot from behind the referee's back. Fatu continues to dish out repeated headbutts. Dawkins side steps Fatu into the turnbuckles. Ford and Tonga are tagged in. Ford with 2 clotheslines. Ford ducks a clothesline from Tonga. Ford with a spine buster. Ford super kicks Fatu. Tonga ducks a clothesline from Ford. Tonga goes for belly to back suplex, but Ford lands back on his feet. Ford thrust kicks the midsection of Tonga. Ford kicks Tonga in the chest. Ford with a step up Itzigiri. Ford reverses out of an Irish whip from Tonga. Tonga launches Ford over the top rope. Ford with a straight right hand. Ford with the flying crossbody block for a 2 count. Tonga has Ford perched on the top turnbuckle. Tonga with the suplex for a 2 count. Dawkins dumps Fatu out of the ring. Tonga sweeps out of the legs of Dawkins. The Bloodline gangs up on Dawkins. Ford delivers the somersault plancha over the steel ring post. Ford rolls Tonga out of the ring. Ford goes from the heavens, but Tonga ducks out of the way. Ford starts favoring his left knee. Tonga tags in Fatu. Fatu with a inside lariat. Fatu lands the suicide dive. Ford ducks a clothesline from Fatu. Fatu goes for the pop-up Samoan drop, but Ford counters with a DDT. Fatu rises back on his feet. Fatu kicks Ford. Fatu with the pop-up Samoan drop. Fatu plants Ford with a moonsault and picks up the victory. So now they will be facing DIY tonight on SmackDown. We have a Grayson Waller Austin Theory segment in the ring with Terrence Crawford. I have no idea who the hell this is, honestly. Grayson Waller, Austin, this is huge moment. This is the number 1 pound for pound boxer in the world, Terrence Crawford, in the ring with us. Well, last week, Terrence, you disrespected us. You handed Cody a chair, and we think it's only fair that you apologize to both of us right now. The people want to hear you apologize. No. I don't think you understand. Not only for you handing Cody, the chair, you need to apologize for thinking you belong in the same ring with A-Town Down Under. Lad, you might be the best boxer in the world, but this is our ring, right? Hey, look at me when I'm talking to you. Hey, I just want to let you know if you take one more step towards me, my boy Austin is about to knock you out. No, you can't knock me out, Austin Theory. Hey, wait, I ain't trying, Crawford KO'd Theory to close the segment. So there was a Cody Rhodes promo. I'm here in Japan on our live event tour, doing what I told everybody I was going to do, bring the WWE Championship across the globe. It's a little moment of solitude, reflection, a thing a wrestler shouldn't do. And that's looking back at the Royal Rumble, knowing what I had, that I had the main event of WrestleMania ripped out of my hands for only the people to take it back. I reflect on the greatest fight of my life, defeating Roman Reigns, to do what I had set out to do upon my return to WWE. Finish the story, surrounded by my friends, family, fans, and a conquering hero. And I thought the bloodline was no more. So I thought this new chapter, new doppelganger version of the bloodline, a pack of wildcats with nothing to lose, a running around and feasting on anybody that stands in their way. Chaos ensues without a true lion leading the pack. And because of that chaos, I sit here alone. My friends, my allies, my partners, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens destroyed, trying to fight by my side while I watch. I head into SummerSlam, a man on an island, a man who has the decks stacked against me, a man will have to fight with every ounce of pride, energy that I have. But I also head into SummerSlam, the champion, and I know that I have to bring all of my fire and passion to this fight, because I owe it to the people to defend this championship and not let it slip back into the hands of the bloodline. Solo Sequoia is a dangerous man. He stepped up, declared himself the new tribal chief. He has proven that he is ready to take on that mantle of responsibility to do whatever it takes to get what he wants. I used to think Solo wasn't ready. Now, not sure. I need to look into his eyes and see what kind of man he really is. Sorry again, my tablets. SummerSlam, I challenged you to meet me in the ring next week, face to face, one on one, so I can look into your eyes and see if you are indeed ready. Because in this moment of solitude, I know that I am. Next week on SmackDown, the Unholy Union will put their women's tag team titles on the line against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, plus DIY versus Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Logan Paul will have a special homecoming segment. Carmelo Hayes interrupted Andrade El Idolo's interview with Carmelo Hayes. Melo tells Andrade this isn't over until he wins. Andrade says Melo was missed in their match last week. Melo responds by saying the crowd didn't miss him when he left the company a few years ago. Melo compares himself to LeBron James. Andrade says Melo is not LeBron, more like Ronnie James, which is LeBron's son. Melo feels that this is his time. Andrade needs to step aside. Andrade is down to have one more match with Melo. Third match, Bailey and Mia Yim versus Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. Jax and Stratton attack Yim before the bell rings. Jack headbutted Yim. Jack throws Yim into the steel ring steps. Bailey arrives with a kendo stick in her hand. The referee is trying to calm down Bailey. Bailey checks Yim. Bailey will start things off with Stratton. Bailey with a Luther press. Bailey transitions into a ground and pound attack. Bailey applies a side headlock. Stratton sends Bailey chest first in the turnbuckle. Stratton grabs a side headlock. Bailey whips Stratton across the ring. Stratton drops Bailey with a shoulder tackle. Bailey drops down on the canvas. Bailey kicks out the legs of Stratton. Bailey is raining down haymakers. Bailey with a running elbow across the back of Stratton's neck. Bailey with a side lariat for a 2 count. With a sliding lariat for a 2 count. Bailey punches Stratton in the back. Bailey stomps on Stratton's chest. Bailey talks smack to Jax. Stratton drives Bailey back first into the turnbuckle. Stratton repeatedly stomps on Bailey's chest. Stratton kicks Bailey in the back. Running forearm exchange. Stratton calls Bailey pathetic. Bailey rocks Stratton with her forearms. Bailey kicks Stratton off the ring apron. Bailey with a middle rope stunner to Stratton for a 2 count. Yim finally gets back on her feet. Jax wisely pulls Yim off the apron. Jax hit a Samoan drop on the floor. Stratton with a running hip attack. Stratton with a running double foot stomp for a 2 count. Jax and Stratton have complete control of the match during the commercial break. Stinkface party. Stratton goes for a cover for a 2 count. Stratton puts her knee on the back of Bailey's neck. Stratton whips Bailey back first into the turnbuckle. Stratton tags in Jax. Double hammer throw. Jax levels Bailey with a double avalanche. Stratton with a double back handspring elbow strike. Jax hooks leg for a 2 count. Bailey with a heavy body shot. Bailey is throwing haymakers at Jax. Jax drives Bailey back first into the turnbuckle. Jax stands on Bailey's back. Jax poses for the crowd. Jax tags in Stratton. Stratton with a body avalanche of her own. Stratton punches Bailey in the back. Stratton applies a rear chin lock. Bailey attacks the midsection of Stratton with a spinebuster for a 2 count. Sorry, very thirsty. Stratton applies a front face lock. Stratton tags in Jax. Jax body slam Bailey. Jax with a running elbow drop for a 2 count. Jax applies the Cobra clutch. Stratton tags herself in. Stratton is putting boots to Bailey. Stratton sends Bailey to the corner. Bailey catches Stratton in midair. Bailey is with a release German suplex. Stratton tags in Jax. Jax stops Bailey in her tracks. Bailey sends Jax shoulder first into the steel ring post. Stratton tags herself in. Bailey uses her feet to create separation. Bailey finally tags in Yim. Yim clothesline Stratton. Yim with a running neck breaker. Yim with a flapjack. Yim pops back on her feet. Yim with a dropkick tornado DDT combination for a 2 count. Yim lands the suicide dive. Stratton goes for a missile dropkick. Stratton tags in Jax. Yim avoids the body avalanche. Yim tags in Bailey. Yim with a step up into Gary. Bailey with a running knee strike. Bailey follows that up with a flying elbow drop for a 2 count. Bailey and Yim gang up on Stratton. Jax goes for a Samoan drop, but Bailey gets in the way. The referee trying to get Yim out of the ring. Stratton clocks Bailey with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Jax blasts Yim off the apron. Jax connects with an annihilator to pick up the victory. So what I think that what's going to happen, you're going to have to find out tomorrow what my thoughts are on the preview and predictions tomorrow at 11 a.m. Gotcha. So we go to Solo Sequoia's promo. Cody Rhodes, I will see you face to face next week, the same night that my Tongans will bring back the tag team titles to the Bloodline. The night before I bring back the undisputed WWE title to the Bloodline at your expense. In one weekend, the Bloodline will handle family business. And if Roman Reigns has got a problem with that, you know where you can find me. You can end up like Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, and acknowledge me. They said Roman Reigns. So it's going to be a very interesting situation. It's an interesting situation that this is over. Please join me tomorrow at 11 a.m. for a preview and predictions of SummerSlam. Please do me a favor. Go check all my social media is Cameo, TikTok, X, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, all Mel's Mat Chat. You can find me also on Snapchat and OnlyFans, which is Real Mel's Mat Chat. Tuesday is the start of NXXT. I will be doing it on OnlyFans. I will link the my OnlyFans and everything. Hopefully that I'm hoping that I I could do it on my computer because I have to set that up as well. So you will be seeing that. I will be going live right after NXT. If I don't do it then, I'll do it always on Wednesday, depending on how tired I am. But I will be doing NXT reviews, and that means I'm going to be taking on NXT preview and predictions and the whole gambit. So, you'll see me more now. I do go live on TikTok now once a day. So, follow me over there, but it's different. It's more of a subdued Melissa. It's just chilling out, unwinding, and everything like that. So please also go check out Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Please go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. Check out Deathwish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. And check out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net. Please like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications so when I go live, upload a video or do a short. I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. for SummerSlam preview and predictions. Have a great day. Bye-bye.